Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Carly and this is Owning Authenticity. And in this video, I want to share some details about the free event that I have over these next couple of weeks called Formula for Fulfillment that kicks off with the first session tomorrow on July 10th. So if you're catching up on this afterwards, you may still be able to catch some of the parts of this free event. And so the link to register is in the description box, top first thing, making it easy for you. Because I am stupidly passionate about unlocking even 1% more of a fulfilling life for myself and for anybody else who wants to come into this space and play with me there. It's really awesome. The little tiny ways that this free event is different than the free event I did back in March. A couple of key differences that I'll run through real quick before I tell you about the session that's happening tomorrow, the very first part of this event that we're kicking off with, called Break Free of the Ties That Bind. So good, so yummy, so excited to tell you about it. But first, let me tell you about the differences. Number one is last time I did all 5 parts on a daily schedule, 5 days in a row. We did Saturday through Wednesday. Let me tell you what, by the end of 5 days, I was pooped the fuck out, okay? No bueno for Carly, okay? So this time I've built in little rest chunks, all right? So that is super exciting to think about as far as that's why it's 2 weeks that this is kind of rolling out slowly. Also, though, I think that those rest chunks will also let the participants rest and digest as far as integrating and deepening and really reflecting on what we cover in each of these deep dive sessions. So that's difference number one. This week, we're kicking off with part 1 on Wednesday, July 10th. Part 2 will be Saturday, July 13th. And that is a deep dive session into human design charts where we're going to pull our own individual chart and kind of study some different pieces on that. So that'll be super fun. And then next week, we have the next 2 parts on Wednesday and Saturday. The following week on Monday is the final part in this 5-part event. So spaced out feels really luxurious, and I'm super excited to kind of test out this version and see how that goes with my energy and also with participants being able to enjoy all of the material and all of the energy that we're going to move in these sessions. So that's number 1 difference. Number 2 difference, you guys. I get stupid excited about all of this. The second difference, which number am I on? The second difference is the activation sessions that I am offering to participants. So anybody who registers for this free 5-part event is also then eligible to schedule themselves for a complimentary 30-minute activation session where you and I will sit together on Zoom for 30 minutes and we will work through even just one little tangle in your energy that aims to open up the next layer, again, even 1% more of a fulfilling life for you. Because this is my passion. This setting people free into their authenticity and therefore able to live a super enjoyable, divinely aligned, bespoke, customized, perfect fitting life that is just for you, tailor-made just for you, setting people free, myself included, to live that level of enjoyable life is my passion. And so this added piece of a complimentary activation session to help you work in your own unique energy is so exciting. That was not part of the deal last time. All right, so this time we are offering that. And by we, I mean me, myself, and I. Sometimes I call it we. I don't know. We got a lot going on in here. There's we's, multiple. So that's difference number 2. I feel like there was a third difference Oh, yes. Okay. VIP. So this time I also am hosting a VIP session after the live session, like that's free for everybody to join in the group, where we're going to do additional coaching and Q&A and just diving into more personal circumstances. So that benefit with VIP, that you get to come to that VIP only after party for additional processing and discussion. The other benefit of VIP is that you get lifetime access to these replays, which brings me to difference number 4. Last time I posted the replays of the free event sessions on my YouTube channel. So like, even if you hadn't registered for the event, you could still watch the replays publicly on my YouTube channel. This time, that is not the case. The replays will only be available on the event dashboard, so you must register to get into the event dashboard to be able to watch the replays. So even if you can't make it to the live event sessions, like you're working at that time or whatever, that's no big deal. As long as you register, you'll still have access to the event dashboard where you can watch the replays. You'll also have access to the event dashboard where you can schedule your complimentary one-on-one activation session. But that event dashboard is coming down on July 28th. So like at the end of the free event, the last session is on July 22nd. You'll have about another week to schedule your one-on-one session, to watch the replays, to get as much juice out of that process as you possibly can. And at any time, you can upgrade to VIP to keep lifetime access to the replays from those live sessions, including the VIP call replays. So all of that to say, those are the changes that have happened from the event that I hope it happened, the event that I hosted last time. Bob Kitty wants to come and say hello. Okay, so now I want to tell you about our kickoff session that is happening on July 10th, the first of the 5-part series. And this is Break Free of the Ties That Bind. So yesterday I was in this like meditative journaling process where I was sinking down into what is it that are the ties that bind? Why do we care about that? Why do we care about setting ourselves free from them? And then what does the breaking free process look like? And you guys, this meditative journaling process that I was in yesterday is where all of this enthusiasm and excitement is coming from, because I am so excited to share all of this with you tomorrow in the 2-hour deep dive that we are going to do into breaking free from the ties that bind. And today I want to give you like the spoilers, okay? Because why not? And if you're not going to come to the event, maybe you'll see this video and maybe even just this little bit will spark something that wants to be wiggled free in your energy. And as I've already very clearly stated, I am passionate about setting people free, myself included, into living their most authentic, most free, most fulfilling life. So as I sat with it, the ties that bind, these things that keep us bound up, restricted, constricted, suppressed, depressed into an unfulfilling pattern, they boil down to one thing. And I'm telling you today, that one thing is self-rejection. Self-rejection. Another way to say that, self-denial. Another way to say that, knowing what you want and not letting yourself have it. Knowing that there are urges and flow and things trying to rise up and through you and clenching it down and not letting it move, right? Restricting your natural self, self-denial, self-rejection. And in the deep dive tomorrow, we're going to go through really granular examples of exactly what that looks like. We're going to do some exercises to find where are these pea-sized, these micro self-rejections still happening in your particular energy field, right? And by finding those, Then we can take our psychic scissors and we can snip that tie and we can unbind. We can let your energy blossom in this new way. And why do we care about that? We care about that because every bit of your dream life is already happening. It's already being mailed to your home address, if you will, and your home address is your true authentic self. So as far as manifesting your dream life, or like manifesting any bit of what it is, the visions that you hold in your heart, it's not so much about manifesting the dream, the outside part. It's manifesting the inside part. It's manifesting the version of you who is living that life. So it's moving into your home address, aka the level of authenticity that is a match for that dream life, naturally being the byproduct of that version of you. So this process of breaking free, right? That's the second part of this event, is first identifying what are those ties that are binding your particular energy. And it'll be different for every person. And I'm going to attempt to customize it, even though we're working in a group setting. And the breaking free process boils down to one thing. You guys, like, I'm giving you the answers, like in this teeny little sneak preview, boils down to one thing. And the one thing that boils down to is self-acceptance. I would maybe even add a word in front of that: radical self-acceptance. Blind, radical self-acceptance. If it is self, it is acceptable. Period. And the result of that level of self-acceptance is self-trust. And authenticity and self-trust, they go together like peanut butter and jelly. Okay? Like, it's very difficult to be authentic if you don't trust yourself. It's very difficult to chase after your dreams and demand that level of enjoyability from your life if you don't trust yourself. And so the deep dive tomorrow will also go through some various ways that we can take these self-rejecting patterns and dissolve them into love and self-acceptance. And so I imagine the group session will be extremely powerful for moving energy through your system, for finding those little blocks inside of your body and dissolving them into love, which is to say, allowing greater flow of your authenticity. And why do we care about that? Because your dreams are already happening and they're being mailed to the address of your most authentic self. Okay, so like, in order to live them, all you got to do is show up as your most authentic self, right? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Like, literally nothing in life is easier than being your authentic self. Okay, and like, you know, I stand by that. Being authentic is easy. What's difficult is ending self-rejection. That's the tricky part, okay? Is unlearning these patterns of self-denial and self-rejection. Being authentic is flow. It's effortless. It's your natural way of being. It's as natural as breathing. What takes energy and focus and dedication and like intentional effort is restricting all of that. And we do that for lots of good reasons, most of them boiling down to keeping ourselves safe. Okay, and so you got to give yourself a pat on the back that your system is so biologically wired for self-love that it will protect you at all costs, even if that means cutting you off from who you naturally were born to be. So it's easy and it's simple, and yet it takes practice to get into it. And the session tomorrow, Breaking Free of the Ties That Bind, aims to give you some reps in the gym, okay? Of like finding what are those little ways that you're rejecting yourself and actively moving them into an accepting place. By the end of tomorrow, your self-acceptance will be higher That is my promise to you as a result of this free session, Break Free of the Ties That Bind. And as a bonus, you also get to do the free activation session, the one-on-one with me, where we can work on any slightly more tender, slightly more knotted, possibly more complicated, or maybe that's just an illusion that you tell yourself that it's complicated. I tend to, just speaking from my own experience real quick, I tend to think of things as complicated when I'm really scared of them. Okay, so like when I'm scared to face it, that's when the word complicated comes out. And I'm like, see, it's so complicated, I can't figure it out. And it's like, no, you're just afraid. And that's okay. That's okay. But that's where sitting inside a container and going into it with another person to hold space and to, pull you back into a grounded moment, like when the nightmare gets a little too real, like that's where that can be really beneficial, right? Doing the work with another person, doing the work in community. So that session tomorrow, I am so excited to dive into it with anybody who is called into that space. This event is free for everyone. If you have friends that you think would really enjoy going through this process with you, please invite them. Please send the registration link to them. They're also eligible to come to all 5 parts and to register for the free activation session. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to share before I sign off. I relax my shoulders. You're already enough. You're already enough. This event, these 5 parts, the one tomorrow and all the other 4, they're not about making you more. They're not about building you into something different. They are literally about relaxing into who you really are. They're about making your life easier and more fun for you. Not different because you need to be different. We're not trying to fix you. Quite the opposite, actually. We're trying to get you to stop trying to fix yourself and just love and accept yourself, right? And in a culture, in a society that trains you that there is a right way to be, I understand that can be challenging and difficult. And that is why the formula for fulfillment is set up the way that it is to break apart some of those cultural expectations that we place on ourselves, this idea, this picture in our mind of how it should be, that keeps us from just fucking accepting ourselves and living the level of enjoyability in our life that comes with the freedom of having your own self-acceptance, having your own trust in yourself. I'm pretty sure it's obvious that this is my passion. I am so excited for anybody who feels called into this space for either the group sessions or to take me up on the free one-on-one session. I am so looking forward to sharing that space with you. Until next time, whether you come or not, I hope you are taking such good care of the precious one that is you, and so will I.